Hey, it's Peter here again with some useful information for people who are suffering from ankylosing spondylitis. You know, I was thinking about this today and I thought, in a perfect world, nobody would have to face the agony of ankylosing spondylitis. And it's a really sad irony that AS is often accompanied by other brutal conditions at the same time. So if you're like I was, you also have to cope with depression, sleepless nights of insomnia, an addiction to drugs or alcohol, food, and probably more. Now, your doctor has probably said that there is no cure for you and that you're facing a life of pain and disability. And the trouble is that this fear-based prognosis can actually make your symptoms get even worse. So, take heart, because I can tell you from my own experience that there are options that can and do offer you solutions. These are options which can decrease your pain, decrease your symptoms, and can even lead some of you to full remission and recovery from AS. Now, in order to gain that outcome, the first thing you want to do is dispel the 5 most common myths about AS and understand how they can literally work against you and actually keep you from healing. So, let's now examine these dangerous myths, beginning with myth number 1. Myth number 1 goes like this: you have the HLA-B27 gene and there's nothing you can do about it. So, it's all genetic, right? Is that what you think? Well, that really isn't the case, because the reality is the Spondylitis Association of America reports that less than 2%, that's right, not even 2 people out of 100 who are born with HLA-B27 ever get spondylitis, less than 2%. And up to 30% of people who are diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis don't even have the gene at all. So 3 out of 10 people with AS don't have HLA-B27. According to the Spondylitis Association, genetics plays only a very small, minor role, if any role at all, in your condition. Which, when you really think about it, it's good news, because it means that, at least in the case of AS, you are not a prisoner of your genetics. Now, myth number 2 says a diagnosis of AS guarantees chronic pain for life. Well, it's important to point out that the word chronic means that doctors and drugs cannot cure it. That's what chronic means. So AS is considered by many doctors to be incurable simply because there's no drug that reverses it. Yet lots of people have gone into remission and recovered from this and other chronic conditions, and I'm one of those people. So, how did I do it? I did it through a natural process that neuroscientists call neuroplasticity. So look it up. Look it up on Wikipedia, where you're going to see that it says neuroplasticity is an umbrella term that describes lasting change to the brain throughout an individual's lifetime. It can be seen at multiple levels, from changes in individual neurons to larger changes such as cortical remapping. Behavior, thought, and emotions cause neuroplastic change in the brain, which has significant implications for healthy development, learning, memory, and recovery from illness and injury. That's what it says in Wikipedia. So did you get that? It says significant implications for recovery from illness. Well, it turns out that behavior, thoughts, and emotions cause changes in the brain. And that's where the neuroscientists say recovery from chronic pain takes place. It's in the brain, not in the body. Now, that's what happened in my case, and that's what happens in the cases of the people I coach. So now, you do your homework and find out about neuroplasticity, because it really will change your life. Rolling on to myth number 3 goes like this: a severely restricted diet is good for AS people. Again, it's just not so. Ultra-strict diets are very popular these days, I know, and lots of people use them to fight inflammation in the body, which they do. So there's relief in the short term, but the long-term results can be devastating to your health. Not to mention that these diets aren't easy to stick with, and they're no fun at all. In fact, they're downright brutal and can be very difficult to maintain and stick with month after month, year after endless year. And they're not even really necessary. So someday you're going to want to eat well again. You know, maybe have some good hot homemade chicken soup or some sumptuous pasta and other food for the soul. And you want to enjoy going out for fine dining experiences from time to time, which I really like to do. So, look, While it's obviously a good idea to eat a balanced diet with no added chemicals or added sugars, cutting good healthy foods from your regimen is a very poor idea. It makes you weaker, not stronger. And when used properly, food can be a great healer and a great pleasure in your life. So now just listen to what one of our victors said about his dietary experiment.
Hi everyone, Skylar Denton here, and I'm checking in on behalf of asvictors.com. Behind me you'll see a lot of white tents. I'm at a celebration right now. It's a celebration of food. It's an annual event, and it just happens to be on my girlfriend's birthday. And 1 year ago today, in this exact place, at this exact same food festival, I was given an amazing lesson. You see, I wanted to celebrate. So I came out with my girlfriend to have fun, eating all this food, celebrating her birthday. There's live music, there's people dancing, and there's a lot going on. However, at the time I was also suffering from a lot of pain. I was on a lot of medication. I was eating a very, very strict and limited diet. And I came out here, and this whole joyous event absolutely backfired on me. What happened was I went from booth to booth to booth, and there's hundreds of them here. And I really couldn't find anything that I trusted to eat. You see, I was not eating any starch. I was not trusting oils that I didn't know exactly where they came from, or basically any food that I didn't prepare myself. And this day, walking around trying to find something to eat, having it be my girlfriend's birthday, having people dancing, which I could barely move, I could barely even get here, and having them eat and just have fun, inside, it just ripped me apart. My stomach was hot, and I was angry, and I was anxious, and I was in a lot of pain, and I was sad. And I realized that for me to actually escape that, and to break through and discover and create freedom in my life, holding on to this diet was holding me back. 1 year ago today, this spot, that happened. Now I'm here, a short year later. I've actually been healthy and symptom-free and medication-free and restrictive diet-free for months. But it is amazing to come back here. I've been eating good food. I have a full tummy right now, and I feel wonderful.
Moving on to myth number 4. You cannot exercise with AS. So let me ask you, were you told not to move your body? That's what they told me. But unfortunately, it's a really bad idea. So here's a published quote on treatment for ankylosing spondylitis from the highly venerated and esteemed Cleveland Clinic. It goes like this: physical therapy and exercise regimens are prescribed for all patients with ankylosing spondylitis. This has been shown to improve measures of pain, spinal mobility, patient functioning, and well-being. Now, it should go without saying that physical movement is the only way to reverse degeneration and build a strong body. Weight-bearing exercises are essential for bone density and to prevent muscle wasting. They're also absolutely necessary for making the neuroplastic changes in the brain that reverse illness and injury. So even taking a daily walk can benefit you in so many ways. Research really has shown that walking, which is a weight-bearing exercise, for just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, may be the best exercise of all. So when I coach people with AS, I also recommend using mental practices and exercises like visualization skills. And my clients really like hypnotherapy and deep relaxation techniques too. So using these advanced mind-body techniques is one of the best ways to improve your health and wellness in the long run. You think it's a fairy tale? No, this is mainstream, cutting-edge science. And now myth number 5 goes like this: there is no solution for AS. So yeah, I get it. You know, when your options are limited to only drugs and only surgery, this is obviously true. The medical community has no solution for AS, and they'll be the first to tell you so. But don't you make the mistake of thinking that there's no alternative. Today, the medical field talks about what they call integrative medicine, which recognizes not only the importance of physical treatment, but also the state of the person's mental and emotional health. So this is the most effective formula for relief and recovery from autoimmune disorders, including ankylosing spondylitis. The fact is, there really are alternative solutions to chronic illnesses, and all the AS victors are living, breathing proof of that fact. My vision is that one day, you will be too.